I'm freelance ranger Elizabeth Tyndall. I work a lot outdoors doing activities, but I sometimes like to bring those indoors and do a crafty activity that's inspired by nature. So for this video, I'm working with the Lifelong Learning Services of Dumfries and Galloway Council, working in partnership with them to bring you this virtual experience. And today, we're going to be making some bouncy frogs. I thought a really good spring activity would be to look at frogs. Now, this is a little origami frog, and you can see it can leap. And that's one of the big differences between a frog and a toad. And a frog has a smooth skin as well. So origami is folding paper. And so I thought I would do some folding paper with you. I'm just using some normal paper, the kind of stuff you would have for a printer, and I'm going to make a frog. So the first thing I have to do is to get one of the corners, and I take that corner right over to the other side and put the two sides together, making sure that they match up really well. And I'm going to take my finger then and take it back to the centre and use my fingers to press out to make a line. So I've got a line right across there. Now that is actually just so that I can measure this piece, because I had a rectangle and what I need to do is I need a square. I'm going to press this out here so that I actually have a line that you can see folded along here. Now there are a couple of different ways I can get rid of that. You can use something like a ruler, where you put the ruler down and hold it really firmly and then tear back, and that makes a reasonably neat line, and don't worry if it's not absolutely neat when you do this. Or you can get some scissors and you can use the scissors just to cut down that line. And you can always make even smaller frogs out of this rectangle. So I'm going to put my piece of paper down here. And this is when it's best to colour my frog, because I'm going to be folding it and folding it, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And so I could do something like just write frog all over it in different colours. Or I could maybe think about some of the other words associated with frogs. Water. And, well, maybe won't use the yellow because you won't see that too well. Maybe pond. They like ponds. They don't like it where it's flowing water so much. They like it where it's still. And of course we have frog spawn. Big clumps of frog spawn. There can be tons and tons of baby frogs in the frog spawn, but we have to think about them as being the little black dots that you start seeing in the middle of the frog spawn. And of course you probably know, because I know you're all really clever, that the frog spawn gets so that it's got like a little comet in it, and that's the little tadpole developing in the frog spawn. As we get it a little bit older, we have something that starts wriggling with a bigger head and a bigger tail, and that's our tadpole, which is getting ready. And it keeps turning round and turning round, eating away the jelly of the frog spawn, until finally it actually eats it away so that it comes out and we end up with our tadpole. Now to start with, they actually have these little gills on them as well. Frogs don't have gills, they actually have lungs like us. But we do start off with them with little gills. And eventually they'll grow their legs and lose their tail, and they'll change so that they're actually frogs. So let's keep on writing on here. Nah, I can't even spell, but it doesn't matter for this. I wonder what other ways I can spell frog without getting the right letters. Gorf, hey, grogf, all kinds of different things. So I can make all these patterns all over, so that whatever way I fold this, I will end up with something that will appear. I'm going to use some orange as well, I like orange. And I'm going to do both sides, and I can do it very quickly if I want to. And frogs do have lots of different colours. They can actually change their colour. If they're living in a darker place with more weeds and so on, they'll be kind of a darker colour. There you go, we're going to have a multicoloured frog on this bit. Let's use that yellow that I couldn't use before. There we go. Right, I'm going to clear all my pencils away and put them in here. So yes, colour your piece of paper first, or of course use a lovely coloured piece of paper. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put my edges together. And press down like I did before. I'm going to then take the corner and move it to one side so it makes a square up here. So we've got a diagonal line. I'm going to take that to there. So what I've got is I've got a square with a crisscross in it, and I'm going to do that on both sides. I'm going to press that in there. I'm going to press that corner over. And remember, I slide my finger down and across. Oh, and we can see the frog spawn and the tadpole at the moment. So we have a zigzag, a chevron in fact, going across here. Now this is one of the most difficult bits to do. We're going to bring this end to the middle where the two lines meet, the creases that I've made. And I'm going to then take this corner and push it in. So I have to make it right down to where the line is, where the crease is, right down to there. That's it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. That one was a lot easier. Can you see how it's working? I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to put my two bits together so they're matching up here, and then I'm going to take where the creases are, and I'm folding all the bits over at once, pushing them in so that we actually make a little kind of square box here. There we go. Excellent. You can see it's even got a spring. Now, these are the kinds of bits that are going to help us to make our frog spring. I'm going to bring this leg up. Or should I actually do the back legs first? Because tadpoles grow their back legs first, rather than their front legs. So let's do some back legs first. I'm going to fold that over, so it makes the same kind of shape as the whole thing was. And then I'm going to fold it out, so it's poking out of our square. Here we go. So you can see them poking out. Now I'm going to do the same thing at the other side, so if you didn't quite catch that, I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to put this so that it goes right to the point, which will be the front of the frog. I'm going to fold it back so it sticks out from the square. I'm going to put it right into the centre here, and I'm going to fold it back out again so that it goes out to the side. There we go. Now, because these are legs, they should go in the bottom to help hold it up. I'm going to then fold this bit here, so this is its tail. We're going to disappear its tail up into the body of the frog. And we're going to hide it with these side pieces. So I want to try and get that as near the middle as possible. It might be easier as well if you actually put a line across so that you can see your line. I'm going to just sort the legs out again. So putting the tail right up into the centre, we're putting the sides so that it meets that centre line, and I'm actually making it so that it's got a little bit of a rounded nose there too. Oh, and we've lost a little leg. There we go, so that's going to be the back of the frog. Now, I don't know about you, can you touch your toes? I'm going to make this frog touch its toes, so I'm going to take it so the front legs hit the back legs. And there we've got one bend, and then I'm going to do another bend. So I'm taking that bend and I'm putting one here so that I'm squishing it, and it's like a spring. It'll boing when it's got that. Let's see if it works. Boing! Might even manage to do a somersault. Hey! Good one. And I now know where the eyes are. So I'm going to take one of my pencils here. And I can put some nice big froggy eyes on. Unfortunately, I can't make its tongue, its big sticky tongue that it would eat all the flies and so on with. I suppose I could add something to do that. I wonder if you can. Whoa, good frog. So we've made a little origami frog that hops around. You have to see if it can catch some flies. What we're going to do next is we're actually going to make a little assault course to see if our frog can jump over some things and travel along. I hope you enjoyed making our frog. It's a really good spring thing to go and look and see if you can find some frog spawn and some tadpoles, and you'll know that near them there are some frogs. Enjoy making your frog. So I've set up a little assault course for my frog. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to manage to do this. So the first thing is to get up onto this platform where my pen, oh yes. Now you're allowed to write them. See if we can get onto the next one. So let's see if we can get her to shift along here. Now, should I be allowed to turn it the other way, or there we go. I'm going backwards for a little bit. Oh, going the right way now, hopefully. Oh, bounced off the course. Back on. So you can make your own rules and your own way of doing this. Yes, we're getting there. I'm going to start just going forwards for just now, because otherwise I could be here for hours. And you want to get... Yes, I did the high jump in one go. Now, this is the most difficult bit, this next bit. I have to try and get it into the duck's back. Nope, not happening. Yeah!